Most of us, or let's say some of us, buy a guitar hoping that we will learn how to play it, but then the guitar is sleeping somewhere in the corner of a room. Maybe your kid is not letting you play, or your wife is envious about the relationship you are having with your guitar. Those are the things that you will have to fix yourself. But if your guitar is catching up dust because of some minor problems, I think this video can help you in some way. As a disclaimer, I have to say this: I'm not a professional. I've never repaired a guitar before. I have no idea how this project is going to turn out. So enjoy this video. Hopefully by the end of this video, you will know what to do or what not to do. This is a 12-year-old guitar and it has gone through a lot of abuses. So whenever there is a small problem in my guitar, I will try to fix it like a temporary fix and move on. Now those problems have accumulated and I think this guitar needs thorough fixing. So while we are at it, why not give it a complete makeover? I'm planning to strip whatever this layer is, could be paint, but I'm going to rip it off and repaint it. When I was hatching the plan for repainting the guitar, I needed to know if it could work first. So I flipped the guitar over like that and I tried to sand a corner here using a sandpaper, and it turns out that it is not that difficult. So I'm going to strip this layer from the entire body of the guitar, but before that we'll have to remove as many parts as we can, and we'll start with the pegs here. It's not difficult to remove the pegs, they come in very easily, and if it is too tight, you would always use a set of pliers and kind of wiggle it out. Don't exert too much pressure, it could break from inside and it is going to be a mess. So try and pull it gently. Don't force it though. And this is the part, the bridge. Let me just grab something.
A set of pliers can be useful in pulling the bridge from the saddle. Each tuning peg on this guitar is attached with 2 screws. I removed them one by one. I had glued the nut on this guitar some time ago, and this one needs a whack to get out. I didn't mind if it broke, I'm anyways going to replace it with a new one. There are specific measurements for the height of the fretboard and the frets, and I did not want to sand it, so I simply used steel wool and isopropyl alcohol to clean it up. This whole project is bound to have a lot of sanding work, and this is just the beginning. I must admit I did use an orbital sander, but I had to hold it in an inclined angle, and that's because the back part of this hollow guitar had a slight bevel which made it difficult to use a sander. With one side completed, I began sanding the front face. Then I followed the same for the handles as well. This whole process took me about 4 hours.
Before sanding the front side, this part of the guitar, I removed the pick guard, and this pick guard is almost like a plastic sheet and it is glued onto the front plate, so it comes off easily. I took this off, I removed it, and now I have not removed the edge binders here, and these edge binders seem to be really intact, so it is not going anywhere. Now the only concern is when I apply paint on this guitar, will the paint stick onto these edge binders? Now I'm going to be applying 2 layers of wood fillers, 2 layers of primer and 4 coats of paint, so I think it should be able to absorb all this paint. But if it doesn't, I will have to remove it, but that's going to be in future. I will cross that bridge when I get there. Now I'm going to apply some wood filler and take care of all those dents and divots and all those scratch marks that happen during sanding.
The wood filler dries comparatively faster, but the recommended curing time was 6 to 8 hours. So I let it dry. The next day, this layer of wood filler was given a slight sanding with a 400 grit sandpaper. There always will be some places which would need extra attention. I took care of them on the second coat of the filler. The next step was to apply primer, but before that, the fretboard and the saddle were covered using a masking tape. Now it's time to apply some wood primer. I went ahead and I mixed up the recommended ratio of the thinner and I started applying the primer with a brush. Now this is the first coat and it was let to dry for about 8 hours. Once dry, I sanded this coat with a 400 grit sandpaper and I repeated this step thrice, making it a total of 4 coats. For the paint, I wanted to go with a teal green color and I found the spray can in a local store. I gave 3 to 4 coats and I sanded using a 1000 grit sandpaper in between each of these coats.
Honestly guys, I'm quite happy on how this has turned out to be. Once the paint was dry, I gave this guy a couple of coats with flat clear lacquer, and I went with the flat clear lacquer because I wanted to have a matte finish, not a gloss finish. So the paint as well as the lacquer, both of them are matte finish. Now we can peel off all this masking tape and start working on the wood underneath it and continue with the rest of the project. I've placed the guitar on this table with a cloth on top of it because I don't want to scratch with my guitar, because this table is not particularly made for this purpose. Now let's take all this layer off.
When I peeled the masking tape, the edges near the saddle were looking a bit jagged. It shouldn't have come to this, but I used the paint from the spray can and I touched it up using a paintbrush. The reason why I did not color the saddle was because I wanted to have this dark brown color of wood as a contrast to the teal color I've used. Both the saddle and the fretboard were finished using a coat of hot oil.
Okay, that is done. Now I'm going to attach the tuning pegs. Before attaching the tuning pegs, let me just point out some important things. Let me grab an old tuning peg. Now, if you look at this tuning peg, there is a tuning knob here which is connected to a worm gear, and there is another shaft which is going to be attached to the string, which has got another gear. Now when we turn this knob here, the worm gear moves and it rotates the other gear, which in turn turns the shaft and it tightens up the string or loosens it up. Now one of the biggest problem that happens with tuning pegs is the teeth of this gear break. I cannot say about others or other guitars, but this guitar in particular has had a lot of problems because of one main reason. I would leave the guitar in tuning all the time. Now when the guitar is in standard tuning, the strings are going to exert a lot of pressure on the body of the guitar, the neck starts to bend, the pegs break and the strings break frequently. It's a good practice to tune the guitar before every session and detune it and reduce the tension on the strings after every session and then store it. It would significantly increase the life of most of the guitar parts. It could be a bit intimidating for a beginner to tune the guitar each and every time before every session, but then these days you get a lot of guitar models which have got inbuilt guitar tuners. Sometimes you get these tuners separately and you can install it on your old guitar. You can also use clip-on tuners, or better yet, you get free apps that can be loaded onto your smartphone and you can use your smartphone to tune your guitar. In the beginning, it might be a little bit time consuming and frustrating, but like with most other things, you get better at it by practice. Now for this one, I've got similar pegs for replacement.
The base of the new pegs I got for replacement match exactly with the old one, so I don't have to drill new holes. That's good. The side facing the fretboard can be plugged with the provided grommets. And the screws hold the pegs from the back. The order of strings, as you might all know, is E, B, G, D, A, E. From the thinnest to the thickest, from bottom to top up. For a right-handed guitar, of course. Here is another tip which I learned some time ago. The string should not be threaded completely into the eye of the tuning peg. Instead, we need to keep a bit of a slack and then press the string firmly and start winding. This technique will avoid the strings breaking frequently. I prefer clipping of the loosely hanging excess strings to keep everything neat. The last part was to stick a fresh pickup guard. Unfortunately, I did not find one with the matte finish, but this one is not bad either. This step was the simplest one. Just peel it and stick it.
Moment of truth guys, I've tuned the guitar, pasted the pick guard, and now it's time for some playing. And as for the making of this project, I was using power tools only for the sanding part of it, and the rest of the project was completed using hand tools. So I think it is possible for an average person to work this out. I hope you like this video, and whatever your suggestions are, please do leave it in the comment section below, because a tip or two will definitely help the community. And I will see you in another interesting video very soon. Until then, bye bye.